Hello, my name is Alan, and this afternoon in my time, I'm facilitating the third of what's become four because I was order combat for one of the sessions. So this is the third of four sessions of Blake Ryan's game in development, PBTA game in development, Season of Dreams. This is a game set in a kind of slightly whimsical, slightly anthropomorphic fairy called the Gloom. Which parallels our Earth reality. So far, we haven't got as far as that Earth reality, but I am determined next week to spend a session on Earth. But we're going to stick with the Gloom, I think, for the first bit of this session at least. These two players, sadly, we have two ill players, so we are down to two players and me today. We wish them well. Hope they'll be back for next week's finale. So we've discussed Lines and Veils. We're playing with the X card and Open Door, and we're playing within the Gauntlet Code of Conduct. Because I should have said at the top of this that we are playing as this game was organized as part of the Gauntlet RPG Community's monthly calendar. You see, as soon as I don't write something down, I start forgetting bits of it. So, as I say, my name is Alan, my pronouns are he, him, and what I'd like to do is, in character keeper order, ask the players to say hello and tell us something about their... Yes, Paul, that is age. That is absolutely true, that is age. Ask the players to introduce themselves with their pronouns, and then tell us something about their character and their pronouns. So, Paul, first up.
Hello, I'm Paul, he, him, and the character I'm playing today is Fungo Smedley, also he, him, and he is a satyr, and his sort of base creature is actually a goat. His vice is gluttony, and his virtue is courage. And so far we've seen Fungo cast illusions, yeah, he's sort of like the strong man of the party, not too much of a big thinker.
Thank you, Paul. Greg, say hello, give us your pronouns, and tell us something about Velura the Lugat.
Yeah, I'm Greg, he, him, and I'll be playing Velura. And the Lugat is a bat humanoid person sort of thing. Yeah, she's greedy. I guess we'll put it that way. She's part of the Theocracy, the Hallowed Nine, but it's more of a convenience, casual faith than something deeper. So.
Yeah, the sense I've got is that greed kind of overrules any theocratic beliefs. So now we left this in quite a complicated situation last week. To summarize last week's session, the players were sucked through a rift and encountered some humans who seemed to be smuggling guns, which are illegal in the Gloom, presumably obtained from the Earth reality. But they were slightly distracted by that, disposed of some of the guns, kept some of the guns. So it feels like everybody thinks that guns are a bad thing, except when they have them. And then set off to Murias, which is the city at the heart of one of the factions in the Gloom, one of the four factions. This is the capitalist kind of faction, Forever Gold. Their symbol is 3 coins. And so 3 of the characters traveled to Murias and had some adventures there while trying to fence what they thought would be a very valuable griffin's egg, and to deliver some feathers to some golden griffin feathers to the person who had commissioned them to do this. But as part of those adventures, they found themselves at a celebration by the Fomori. These are an insect, sentient insect people. And we won't go back and see the detail of last time, but needless to say, Velura is now in possession of one of the eggs of a very significant female Fomori queen, mother to Chick. And they escaped from the situation, which was getting a little tense, by passing through a portal. And that portal took them back to where they had started, but it also seems that it took them back in time. And so I suppose the question is, did any of these events in Murias actually happen, or were they all dreams? A conscious collective dream experienced by three of the characters. Now, we'll come to that in a bit. So far, we have Velura in possession of one of Mother to Chick's eggs. We have Fungo with Velura. And also coming back in time or out of that dream, take your pick, was I've forgotten, Kit Baxter, our Viveru, one of the fox people. And Kit is still holding the golden griffin egg. And what we see is, as you two and Kit stepped out of that portal from Murias to find Shelley saying, "But you just disappeared." That's our fourth character, the human Shelley Widdershins. Kit goes up to Shelley and says, "No, something remarkable happens." And then they both disappear, taking the golden griffin egg with them. Important things that may be true that you learned in this time slip dream was that golden griffins are very persistent in pursuing stolen eggs. And that was a bit of bad news, because that means the value of that golden griffin egg went through the floor. But let us pick up at that point. Velura, you have one of Mother to Chick's eggs, suggesting that something real has gone on. And Fungo, you have just seen Shelley and Kit disappear. What do you do, Fungo? You are muted.
I will look around to see if there's any sort of leftovers of them moving, sort of brimstone, or did they leave anything like the golden griffin egg, or has it disappeared? Now you're muted, Alan.
This sounds like a physical mental task, and it sounds more like expertise or wits than anything else. So which one?
Expertise.
Go ahead.
Fastidiously look about me. Here we go. And I have expertise of 1. I've rolled a 3 and a 1, so that still only gives me 5.
Okay, you mark an experience point. There is nothing. Absolutely nothing. No clue, no nothing.
I'm quite happy with that. I'll turn round to Velura and say, well, at least we're not going to get pursued by the golden griffin.
Yeah, but what do I do with this thing? Do you think we can sell this?
Well, there are a lot of them. It's nowhere near as rare as a golden griffin egg, but I'm sure we can.
You know, I don't think I'm the kind of person to do it, but if somebody, you know, somebody with less morals could probably sell this to some enemy of Mother to Chick, and that might
Yes, or we could use it as some sort of it could be used as bargaining if they pursue us, which I expect them to.
Yeah.
Well, there's nobody about, so we can't do much about it now. So let's hold on to it, keep it safe.
But that's the strange thing, isn't it? Is that you have gone back in time, at least. If this wasn't a dream, if this actually happened, and the fact that you have in possession, it looks like you've taken something out of the dream, at least. All the events around what happened in Murias are now in the future.
Yeah, never happened.
Except you have an egg.
Yes. I think it did happen, but there's no way for us to get there now before it would happen again.
Also,
So the chance of us running into each other, the same versions of ourselves, would be slim.
also I think this also means that the people running the guns are still to do that, right? That we ran into the people that were running guns for Lord Dummy Dum or something.
Durek.
Yes. There was the people running the guns for Lord Durek, which is a little weird. We could follow that to see, where they're going or who they're.
Yeah. So instead of taking the guns off them that we now know that they've got, we could follow them round that lake, and intercept them near or find out what they're doing with Lord Durek.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I will
Now
just
we know what
remind
will
you.
happen.
I will remind you they were traveling from Lord Durek, not to.
Yeah, to the
He
hills.
had sent them with these guns into the hills.
To the hills. Yes, to the hills.
And the other thing I want to remind you of is that you are still in possession. Fungo has 3 golden griffin feathers, and Valura has 3 molted golden griffin feathers.
And we need to get them to Lord Durek, don't we?
You were, well, I suppose technically Kit was commissioned to get those for Lord Durek, but Lord Durek is expecting that delivery.
And Lord Durek works for the capitalists, doesn't he?
He is a lord in the city of Murias, where, see last session for what happened if you were there.
Well, I mean, that is our sort of main mission. So
that's true. Yeah, we should.
I reckon, Valura, we should deliver the 3 dodgy golden griffin feathers to Lord Durek.
Oh, why should we?
Because the real ones will be worth considerably more money. I'm appealing to your greedy nature here.
Okay.
And I don't think we should trust Lord Durek. So if we give him 3 dodgy feathers, that should be enough to con him into paying us, and then they won't work for him, or at least not as well as he thought they would.
Also, should we try to get some information out of him around the guns? I'm thinking maybe we can offer to do something for him, or obliquely reference.
Yeah, sort of say, look, we met these guys traveling to the hills, blah, 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 blah. Is there anything you want us to do?
Yeah, or, that could be a way we can get some more information on that.
Yeah, certainly.
All right, we make all these plans, but a rift's just going to open and we'll be popped into some underwater SeaWorld. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm not making that mistake again. No, you find yourself outside the gates to Murias, with an enormous sense of deja vu. But I think it's probably fair to say that you are several days ahead of the time when you arrived at the gates previously.
Okay, so we're in front of time.
It looks like, it took you the thick end of, well, I can't remember if I specified, but in my mind's eye last time, it took you several days to get to Murias. The rift that swallowed you at the start
further away,
put you further away geographically. So you are at Murias by the end of today, this time round.
Okay.
And one other thing is we have this this T'Chik egg. She doesn't know we have it. She's never seen us before. We
No,
could
she hasn't.
give that to her, and maybe, you know, as a nice gesture, and maybe we can leverage that. So that's another option.
Yes, I mean she may not have laid it yet.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, good point.
Curiouser
Okay.
and curiouser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's deal with it. Let's deal with the griffin feathers. I think we should avoid
Yes.
T'Chik until we've come up with a better plan, because we really don't want to bump into ourselves.
Point.
I think that would not go down too well.
But we're several days ahead, right? So
Yeah.
we're kind of safe on that.
We
end.
quite often get waylaid.
Oh, that's a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
So,
It would
yeah,
take a portal to spit you a couple of days forward in time.
To Lord Durrock's residence, then.
Yeah,
Fine.
let's do it.
What we
Fine.
sort of expecting? Some sort of town sort of residence.
Yes, a townhouse.
townhouse.
Probably, you know, and anyone you ask will give you directions to the part of Murias where the great merchant princes, inverted commas, have their kind of estate and townhouse. But I think I would like, yeah, I think I'd like each of you to roll with wits. Let's start with Velura. Roll with wits. I just need a feel for whether you pick something up.
All right, let's see what we got here. +1.
There you go.
Bam. 11.
Fine.
11. Yeah.
Then I don't
He
really...
understands time and space.
Yeah, not at all confused by this
Yeah.
kind of endless nagging deja vu. I don't need to ask Fungo with a success that good. I think that when Velura pointed out, Fungo also picks up. Yeah, you might remember that I said that the Fomori warriors are, i.e. T'Chik's people, act as kind of enforcers, guards, city watch. And it's fair to say that you get the impression they are on edge. Do you want to do anything with that, Fungo?
Yeah, I'd like to engage them in, you know, conversation. Say that we've been out of town for some time, but we are here to see Lord Durrock. But you know, and I'll say to them, you know, it clearly looks as if, you know, something's going on in town. And I will also drop into the conversation that we know Mother T'Chik, but I will not reveal that we have an egg.
Okay. When you say no, do you mean will know?
Well, I'll say to these guys that you're right, we will know her soon, but I'll tell these guys that we do know her.
Okay, so you're lying to them.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Then I think this is probably charm or wits.
Charm. I'm going to lay it on thick
task
with them. There we go. Let's roll those bones. I've got a charm of 1. And I've rolled double 4. So that gives me a total of 9.
9. Now, I've not been using this rule because I was frightened of it. But when you roll a double, that triggers a gloom event.
Oh, let's have another portal. Why
All
not?
right, let's do it.
So here we go then. I've put some d8s down. That is a 4 and a 3 in a city. That is 7. Faction. Okay, so yeah, okay, that's not very interesting. No, it makes sense. Well, does it? It's hallowed. No, yes, it does make sense if I do it this way. Okay, so as you're having this conversation, you can see a druid preaching on a corner across the way. Now, Velura, you have had an association with the Hallowed Nine. Druids are not popular in Murias because they tend to preach stuff that isn't capitalist. Velura, do you stick with Fungo or do you go and listen to the druid?
Yeah, let's listen to the druid.
Okay, I'll come to you in a moment. Fungo, so you have achieved a
Yeah,
partial
sweet talk
success.
them. Yeah.
Success, but choose one option that fits the story. Can you see the move?
Yes, I can. I
Or I
think
guess you
they're
can defer it to me. I don't know.
well. No, let's go with they've heard of my actions, my courageous actions, possibly to do with the griffin.
Okay, so yeah, the trouble is you've only just got back to Murius about this, haven't you?
But the fairies could have got back before us.
That's a possibility. That is a possibility. So yeah, okay. So they've heard. Let's have them have heard of something in the more further in the past than that.
Okay.
The sort of things that perhaps you helped Kit Baxter do, because Kit is a local. And there's a kind of Fungo, yeah, you help one of the Viveru mess up something in the Earth reality, and they are suitably impressed that you have both traveled to that reality and you caused trouble, because they think that there's nothing but trouble the other side of those portals to the Earth reality. But in terms, I guess what you were wanting to know is why they're on edge.
Yes.
There's going to be a festival in a couple of days' time, to celebrate, to kind of christen Mother to Chick's eggs. And as the eggs have been brought out of storage for the ceremony, it's been discovered that there is one missing. And they say, and Mother to Chick is she is sweetness and light most of the time, but she is merciless and vengeful in pursuit of her young.
And I will say to them, funny you should mention that, because
Before you say anything else, let me cut to Velura. Velura, the druid, what is it that attracts you in what they are preaching?
How about the druid is talking about I'm thinking he's saying something that's appealing to Velura's greedy nature, and not necessarily that the druid is saying, "Hey, let me show you, pray to God and get a bunch of money," or not necessarily that crass, but something that leads her down that path. Maybe he talks about the abundance of nature.
Okay, yes, the abundance of nature, and how the gods provide great bounty to those who follow the gods. And yeah, I can see how you would read that as, yeah, that it generates nice things for me. Yeah, okay. Sorry. So let me just go back to Fungo then, because I wasn't certain whether what you came up with might have influenced what was going to happen next. But go ahead, Fungo. Funny you should say that.
Yes, because we met some fairies who are part of the Sapphire Throne, and they mentioned something about Mother to Chick's eggs. Very odd, I will point out to the guards, to the Fomore.
Just stick it to the monarchy whenever you can.
Yes, so maybe they should inquire in that direction. Just on a rumor I've heard. But yes, it was definitely said the last time we met some fairies from the Sapphire Throne that they mentioned something about Mother Chick's Egg Festival. Strange.
And I think that is too tempting for them not to take notice of. And so they will come swiftly to a kind of chitinous clicking, clacking attention, form an honor guard around you, and invite you to come and tell Mother to Chick what's gone on.
I would like to try and charm them and say I would be more than happy to, but I am on work for Lord Durrock, so this will need seeing Mother to Chick will need to be postponed for some time.
Okay, let's see if they go for that.
Charm of 1,
Oh,
double 5. So another gloom event, but full success.
okay. I'm going to see if I want this gloom event or not before
Yeah. I feel like the gloom event is the real player, and we're just the backdrop of the.
At the mercy of the power of the gloom. No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to use that gloom event. I think we have enough gloom events. And so they will agree and expect you, Fungo Smedley, the brave satyr. They will expect you to come to Mother to Chick's cantina, and they inquire if you know where that is.
I will say I have an idea of where it is. Yes.
Fine. And then they salute you, and when one of them scuttles off, I don't know if something 8 feet high can scuttle, but it makes its way off to carry this potentially important news to Mother to Chick. And then I guess you go off to where Velura is listening to the druid.
I will.
And so yeah, so you now go away from this bit of preaching with a belief that greed is good, I think, Velura.
Yeah, the Wall Street druid.
Okay, let us cut to the entrance to Lord Durrock's estate, where a human and a satyr are on duty guarding his threshold. Velura, how do you approach them?
So are they often seen around here?
Yeah, there are plenty of humans in the gloom.
Okay,
What was odd
gotcha.
last time is you saw a whole group of them together in that, whatever that was.
Okay, yeah. I guess, Fungo, I'm a little nervous holding on to this egg, this to chick egg. You know, if not having it declared, but anyway, so yeah, we're going up to Dunkirk and his guards.
You're approaching his
Yeah.
you're at the gate of his estate, and there are
Yeah.
there's a human and a satyr guard.
All right.
And I want to know what approach you're taking.
I mean, approach wise, that we belong there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Casual.
Confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, then let's have you roll with charm or wits, Velura. What's your preference?
All right. Charmy charm. Let's do that. 12.
Oh, and they just wave you through. They were expecting you to be accompanied by the Velura Kit Baxter, but they've been told to expect you. And so they actually, the human will lead you up through these kind of, I'm imagining topiary gardens, nicely cut hedges, flower beds, exquisitely kept, lots of people working in the garden. And you come to this this grand mansion, this townhouse. And there a major domo, his butler. Oh no, we've got a character who could be meeting you there, couldn't we? Yeah, I think that you're told to wait in the front hall until Jamis, his facilitator, who is also a satyr, you'll find him in the Faces and Places, comes into the hall. There's that kind of click, 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 click as his hooves sound on the marble floor. Fungo, he's a satyr, you're a satyr, Durrock's a satyr. What are you going to do anything with that?
Yeah, I would like to try and press him for any information he knows about Mother to Chick, and really about the relationship between Lord Durrock and Mother to Chick.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I think that again is down to charm or wits.
Bit of charm. Let's look for the doubles. Oh, 2 and a 3, so 6 in total.
Oh, well,
Failure.
Mark experience. And he says she's a very good friend of Lord Durrock.
That's
Why?
good to
Why?
know, because and my friend here have been invited to the egg birthing ceremony festival thing.
That's unusual, he says.
Well, you know, if you get out and about more, my friend, out into the wilds and perform missions for Lord Durrock, you know, it reaps its own rewards.
Talking of which, he says rather shortly, he doesn't seem like he enjoys having one up pulled on him. Where's Kit Baxter and what we sent you to get?
And I will look at my colleague Valura, and I will say, well, actually, that's 2 separate questions there. The things you sent us to get, we have, and Kit Baxter, on the other hand, he is ill-disposed somewhere else.
So he looks at you, Valura, because that seems to be where Fungo is looking, and says, well, do you have what you were sent for?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. But we deliver straight to Lord Durrock.
Oh. Is this... Yeah, I'll go with that. I think that he'll say, very well, follow me. Because he probably knows that that's what Kit would have said, I think. And so there's this kind of clip clop, followed by Fungo, clip clop, and Valura, you know, tippy, down this large marble hall to a library. And sat there is Lord Durrock, and I think we have him in the Faces and Places tab as well. A rather effete-looking satyr, richly dressed, bejeweled, looking every bit the merchant prince. And he looks up from something he's reading behind this enormous desk. And he looks up and raises an eyebrow and then gestures you forward.
Lord Durrock, greetings.
Do you have what I sent you to get?
Oh, most definitely. Sir Fungo, would you please present Lord Durrock with his prize?
I most certainly will, my friend. I most certainly will, and I will a very elongated sort of gestury bow, and just as I'm coming up, I will pull from my shirt the 3 pre-owned or the 3 used griffin feathers and lay them individually on the top of his desk.
I don't.
Front of his
If this
desk,
goes
so-
south, I'm turning on Fungo. If this goes south, I'm dropping Fungo like I don't know, a very
Just
bad
claim
thing.
I got them mulled up in my jacket, but it'll be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Okay, all right.
He'll be none the wiser.
All right, all right.
And he looks at them, and the eyebrow goes up, and he looks up at you, and he says, "Is this the best you could do?"
Well, griffins are in very, very short supply, Lord Durrock. So, yes, but what I will tell you is the reason Kit's not here is he was injured recovering a golden griffin egg, if that is of any interest to you.
And he kind of sits back in his chair and he says, Kit was stupid enough to steal a golden griffin egg.
Yes, and that's why he's injured. Yes. Yes. But it could still be valuable.
If he brings that egg near me, I will have him hung, drawn, and quartered.
A
Do you not
wise
know-
move, Lord Durrock.
Do you not know how possessive golden griffins are? They can sense the location of their eggs across almost all of time and space.
Ah, true indeed. But can they sense them in the other reality of Earth?
That gives him pause. And I think he will admit that's an interesting point, Satyr. That is an interesting point. If Kit successfully retrieves a golden griffin egg, then you come and tell me, but do not bring me the egg.
Of course not, Lord Durrock. Now, we also have some other news, Lord Durrock.
Indeed.
And my friend will be more than happy to fill you in, being the person that witnessed this thing we saw that you may be interested in.
Now, I have to say, just in a meta sense, I, the GM, have no idea what Velura is about to say. So, Velura, what do you say after that intro?
Yeah, I've been thinking of how to drop this, and I'm not sure. So I go, well, we noticed a shipment of guns coming through the land, and heading for the hills we saw. And they said something of, however, they're going to the hills, but we heard something along the lines where they said that the opposition will pay double.
Okay, I think I need you to make a social roll to see how well that goes, Velura. So,
right.
Wits or charm?
I'm thinking this is this. I'm almost thinking it's more of a wits move, just because it's
It seems
just-
quite calculating.
yes, exactly. Oh, a 10. Damn.
Oh, dear me. You lot are on a roll today. And he looks to Jamis, his lieutenant, his operator, and gives him a very meaningful look, as if to say, how can this have happened? What on earth is going on here? Are my orders not being followed here? All in a glance, transparent to you, and Jamis looks kind of buffeted by it. You have dropped something very, very significant on Lord Durrock there, I think. What are you expecting him to do, Velura, in response to having this dropped on him? What are you hoping will happen?
Well, I'm hoping that he reveals some clue, or like we get a clue of what to follow. So maybe we, get some info from Janice. But then what I say on top of that is, let's see. Oh, I had it in my mind and it just vaporized. Okay, wait a second. He. Well, I'll say. Let's see. Anyway, okay, never mind. Yeah. So yeah. I guess looking for any clues that we can get. And so I guess
Okay.
I know is he's very concerned. Jamis might know more about this. Um,
I will
and then,
say,
yeah, go
well,
for it.
as two of the most courageous people Mirias has ever seen, myself and my good friend Valura here, we are more than willing, Lord Durek, to make sure that these don't get sold to another faction. With wits and speed, I'm sure we can intercept the original couriers that were maybe procured without full knowledge of their abilities. As I'll look at the other satyr, his house satyr, and sort of put him down, and say to Lord Durek that as two courageous individuals, we would be more than willing to make sure what was originally planned goes through.
And I think, given how well the pair of you have rolled in your interactions with Derek, I think that he will then engage you in the planning of a way to ensure this goes according to plan, much to Jamis's disgust and suppressed anger. So while you've made a friend in Lord Durek, you've made an enemy in Jamis. And what he'll send Jamis off to get the file, and Jamis reappears with a bundle of papers, and this details the departure of this caravan, this mule train, with a handful of humans, and I think probably that Durek will take the opportunity to rub Jamis's nose in it by saying it was your idea to use humans. Just because we're trading with them on the other side doesn't mean we have to trust them here as well, And he'll give you a map of the route that they were to take. And you can tell that if the lake where you encountered them is like 4 days away, and you think you're now 2 days off when you met them. Sorry, the more than that, you are 4 days. So you met them 5 days ago. They will be further away now than they were when you encountered them. So they will have crossed, presumably, that lake where you encountered them with doing their ritual. Sadly, Kit it was who took that ritual. But you will need to move swiftly if you are to get to them before they betray him, because he's now convinced that they are going to betray him. Yeah. And so he wants you to leave as quickly as possible.
And would be more than willing to. Alas, my stamina is somewhat depleted after coming here, Lord Durek, straight away with the griffin feathers. So would your kindly man Jamis here mind fetching me some pickled eggs and a nice pie, perhaps, so I can regenerate my stamina? Jamis, my good friend.
Oh, you are making that enemy.
I
am. But Durek, at the moment, seems to think the pair of you can do no wrong. So again, he sends Jamis away, and Jamis, doesn't bring it himself, but a number of serving people bring trays of food in, and Durek then, examines exactly what you said. So the opposition, did they say who the opposition were?
No, they didn't.
We will get to the bottom of it, though. Do not worry, Lord Durek. We will get that information as well as making sure the shipment goes through.
What I do say is, I'll say we did see some fairies from the Sapphire Throne in the area, and I wink at Fungo.
Indeed, a good point you make there, Valera.
Yeah. But I have a question. I'll say, Lord Durek, we'd love to catch up with these scoundrels. Is there maybe some sort of magic or maybe steed that you could give us that could get us there in time?
I think that's a lovely idea. And I think that he will give you a griffin, not a golden griffin, just a common or garden griffin to ride. Yeah.
Excellent. We will thank him.
So you've eaten, you have a ride.
Yep, we'll say we've just got to go and pick up some supplies from in town, and we will be back and on that griffin and out of here before Jamis can clean the floors.
Okay, so you leave the estate. He's expecting you back shortly. And where are you going to go? Where are you suggesting you're going?
Well, I
Fungo?
will throw my arm around Valera and say, I think that went rather well, Valera.
Yeah, not too shabby.
And I have a cunning plan to deal with Mother to Chick that could also put us in her good graces.
Now what is this?
We
She kind of
have
rolls her eyes. She's like, "Oh God, this probably ends with like shepherd's pie or something, doesn't it?"
let us tell Mother to Chick that we have gained her missing egg from the Sapphire Throne. We've intercepted the Sapphire Throne agents and recovered the stolen egg, which we have in our possession. She should
like
then
that.
be very grateful to us, and therefore we can steal it again in a few days' time.
Whoa! Wait, why? Wait! Why do we want to steal it again? Are you just hungry?
We've got to steal it because that's what will happen. It's time and space, my friend.
Oh dear. Oh my God.
So in some ways, we need to return it so we can steal it in the first place, or the second place, or the third place.
Right. Because Lord knows if we don't return this egg, another gloom event will happen, and we know how those things go. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything? I mean, I'm all for getting into her good graces, but is there anything we could get? She might be most appreciative right now. I wonder if maybe we can ask her for info about these gun runnings. Maybe she might know something.
Good. Yeah, excellent. We could build up a better picture. Because I mean, I'm no fan of Lord Durrock.
Right. Yeah, I know. You just want to tax him. You want to tax him and distribute his wealth. But,
of course.
Yeah.
Let's spread it around those that need.
Yeah.
The true believers, my friend.
I could use some. I could use some of that.
Well, you know, as a downtrodden member of society, you deserve some of his money.
Yeah. I think Valera is all for the Iron Union because she sees the first half of, I get more, and that's as much as she's thought of it. But yeah, I like this. Let's go to Mother to Chick, and maybe she knows something about this gun running.
Now we're coming to 10 to the hour, so I'm going to suggest that we take a break now and reconvene on the hour at Mother to Chick's cantina. Yeah? Okay, I will pause the recording now. Okay, we're back after our break. So yeah, I said we cut to Mother to Chick's cantina. And noticeably different from your previous recollection of this is that at that point, if you remember, the pheromones were thick in the air. You could tell where the cantina was simply by even your senses of smell could pick it up. But instead, it is all a bustle. It is a bustle with preparation. It looks like the cantina per se is closed, but it looks like preparations. There's stuff arriving on hand carts. People are, carrying in trestle tables. There's all kinds of preparation going on. That's what you can see as you approach the cantina. Velura, what do you do?
All right. We walk in, and is Mother Tchik, is she around?
No, she isn't.
Okay. I'm gonna go to one of these insect people and let
Does she
them
have a
know that.
badger as a major domo?
She had a consigliere, whose name was
Consigliere.
Gruff, according to Kit.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll go to I'll go to Gruff.
Because I think he'll certainly be overseeing preparations.
Um,
And he looks up, and who the hell are you?
We have some. I have something very special for Mother Tchik. You're
early. You're early. The festival isn't for 2 days. Come back in 2 days. That's when the gifts will be given.
All right. I think you probably want this before the festival, and I'll present the egg.
I think this. Let's see how he responds. Let's have a social roll. I think wits or charm.
I think this is a charm. Oh, 7. Barely got it.
Okay, so on a 7, he's pleased, but which of those reactions do you think he gave?
All right, he
drifts to.
Let me see. Pick this up. Oh, a favor to someone. Heard of your actions. Oh, gloom event. No. Okay, let me see. So does this mean I owe a favor to somebody?
No, so you will owe a favor to somebody.
Yeah, I would. Incorrect for sure. All right, how about heard of your actions? What I'm thinking of is either in the past or the fact that there's like golden griffin eggs or well, a couple things. One of the things is maybe there's a rumor that we got a golden griffin egg, and some people are maybe slightly impressed. Like the rumor is like, oh, they're going to take the golden griffin egg to Earth, right? Or so are we incredibly brave? Are we so stupid this might just work?
Okay. And he looks at you, and he looks over your shoulder at Fungo, and he says, I was told to expect you, I think. But this was to do with fairies and the Sapphire Throne. And I've put my ear to the ground. And what I'm told is that you are one of a group who was sent to raid a golden griffin lair. Take some stones, guys. Take some stones.
It's kind of all in a day's work for us.
Not much we can't achieve.
And so he is very keen. He's not suspicious of you. I think unless you blow this, he's going to believe that you in good faith have returned this egg. But he will want to know where you found it so that Mother Tchik can punish those that took it.
Well, we got it from some fairies.
Describe them.
Well, okay.
About yay high wings.
Yeah.
Well, look, what I'm curious about is are you going to describe the fairies you encountered on the mountain in pursuit of the griffin?
Yeah, we'll do that. Because they were part of the Sapphire Throne, right?
They were.
Yeah. So
and he summons a couple of the people who are decorating the cantina for the festivities, and one of them sits down with each of you and begins to sketch the fairies that you describe. And I think that you both had a pretty good look at them. So I think there'll be a reasonable chance of them being tracked down. A brownie, and a couple of pixies and a goblin, I think, was what we had. And he is fulsome in his gratitude, to the point where he will invite you to come and meet Mother T'Chik.
Excellent.
And he turns out that the cantina is kind of the front for a significant kind of tunnel network. And he'll lead you down through this tunnel network, going deeper under the city, down to a central cavern where T'Chik is busy mixing pheromones. And the scent in here, the pungent concentration of it is very, very significant. And what Gruff does is he straps a kind of mask on and gives you masks as well, because you wouldn't want to be in the full concentration of this. And she looks up, and as much as a Fomori queen can, she smiles when he explains what has gone on, and she reverently, in one of her, her handling limbs, she reverently cradles the egg and places it in a basket that you recognize from 2 days hence. And to be honest, she will do anything for you at this point.
Excellent. Well, I tell her that.
I tell you what, this is the ideal time for a flashback.
Okay, excellent.
Where the two of you, so an hour earlier, as you were going down to the cantina, what was the discussion like about, well, if this goes well, what are we going to ask for? So let's have that discussion now.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking definitely we want to get some info about this gun running. Maybe she knows something. But yeah, if there's something we could get from her. Yeah.
We'd also want to I'm quite interested in Lord Durrock, this failing in some way for Lord Durrock, while still for us succeeding.
So wait, you mean tying him into the whole egg business, or just in general getting dirt on Lord Durrock? Or we could also tell her. We could ask her about the gun running and then actually tell her what we know.
Yeah, I was thinking of if we can get possession of the guns, we can remove the firing pins so that the guns will still be delivered and we can say we've achieved our task. Clearly,
I gotcha.
Maybe they were manufactured that way. Maybe somebody's hoodwinked Durrock. So they're not going to fall into evildoers' hands. Now, maybe we could get the Fomori to intercept the humans.
True. Well, it would also be good to know what Lord Durrock wanted to do, right? Maybe we don't, it could be that maybe we don't like him running guns, but maybe he's preferable to whatever he's fighting.
That's why I wanted to deliver something so we could see what's going on at the destination.
Gotcha.
I do. Yeah. I mean, I'm just like you. I'm quite interested in finding out what's going to happen with these guns.
Right.
I mean, if we remove the firing pins, they are quite small. We could hand them and say, it was a 2-part precautionary thing. And if we don't like the people, then we never give them the firing pins.
But what do we want from T'Chik? Or
well,
what
as there's only 2 of us, trying to beat up all these humans could be hard. We could get her to intercept the humans for us on our behalf.
Okay. So wait, Durek wants us to help us. We said we'd help get the people there, or we would look into
Look
whatever.
into their snidely double crossing
Yeah.
and possibly complete the task for him.
Certainly, he read that as you will make sure the delivery goes ahead.
Yeah. So I could, I think we could, we definitely caught them double crossing. So, we had them taken out.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm thinking like she gives us some insect people to help us chase down the.
Yeah. How
The
we're going to get
humans.
them to wherever it is, I don't know. But hey, magic could be involved, or a gloom portal, or something, because that griffin's not going to carry us and a small army. But that's
Okay.
minor.
Okay, that
What-
gives me something to work with.
Okay, I actually had one more thing I was thinking.
Oh, go on.
Is so she has a lot of power, right? And
Influence.
yeah, influence. Maybe maybe we could get access to her tunnels. If that's something she would give us, that we could be maybe honorary members of her organization, or something along those lines.
I totally agree. That's a really good thing, but we may ruin this in a couple of days' time. That we can't undo.
That's a problem for future Fungo.
True.
That's what I say. That's a problem for future Fungo.
I like your idea. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask
Yeah.
for access to the tunnels, and if she could lay on some kind of force to intercept the humans transporting Lord Durek's shipment. That does sort of mean we've got to tell her about Lord Durek's shipment.
Yeah. So let's start with what she knows about gun running. Yeah, does that seem fair? Fair place to start. And I think that if we were playing an investigative game, this would count as the basic information you need to proceed. And then we'll come up with some kind of dice roll to determine what else you might learn. So I think that she is aware that the Forever Gold faction that she is part of, she makes her living here in this city and is an arch capitalist herself. She operates in the grey economy, but she knows that guns are being smuggled into the gloom by Forever Gold in contravention to agreements with other factions. And she didn't know until now which of the Forever Gold lords was involved in this. But from what you tell her, it's clear that Lord Durek is involved. And he must be sending something very valuable to the Earth reality in order to get a significant number of guns coming the other way. So I think that kind of confirms what you already believed.
Yeah.
The hills that you're talking about this going to are on the border between this faction and the Hallowed Nine. The area of the gloom where the Hallowed Nine are have a degree of supremacy. And it's sandwiched, the Hallowed Nine are sandwiched between Forever Gold and the Sapphire Throne. And so her conclusion is that this could involve an effort to put pressure on the Hallowed Nine. Whether that is with the help of the Sapphire Throne or not, she couldn't speculate. But she is very concerned on two levels. One, the destabilizing effect firearms would have. And two, currently, Fomori are among the greatest warriors of the land. But if you can train any creature to point a metal stick and pull a trigger, then that begins to worry her in terms of the place the Fomori hold. Yeah?
And I would 100% agree and point out that you've only got to look at Earth, where only one sort of race of creatures, humans, do very well because of guns. You know, there's no Fomori on Earth. So we definitely don't want that to sort of come here. And maybe guns are the way that our downfall is going to happen here in the gloom.
So it sounds like she's on the same page as you are in terms of your concerns about guns, or guns in the hands of other people, at least. Now, how much help can she give? Who's going to do the negotiation then? Because this is going to be negotiation with charm or wits.
Yeah, I got a 2. So I'm thinking Valura.
Valura's
as
more
we're
charming than I am.
Yeah. I think what happens is Fungo speaks up and Valura like shoves a biscuit in his mouth or something. Like
Biscuit.
Yeah. She's like, or not shove, but like, passes him one. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let the adults talk. Yeah.
Anything that doesn't look like a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah.
Okay, so Valura, let's see how your negotiation goes. And I may not use the actual. I may treat this as a kind of a special
Suggestion?
move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Special move. Okay, here we go. Bam. What could go wrong? Wait, didn't. Oh, that's funny. I clicked the button and it disappeared. Let me see if I can get it back.
Oh.
Uh-oh, did it roll?
No, it didn't roll, but the screen moved.
Okay. All right. Let me try this one more time. I think I see what happened. Okay. Anyway, 7.
Now
got
it
a
rolled.
9. Yeah.
Okay, so 9 altogether. Okay, so let's see. That's a partial success. I think that she will provide you with a small pot of pheromones that will allow you to call some Fomori when you need them. She can't think of a way to get a large number of warriors, or even any warrior, across that kind of distance as fast as you're going to have to travel. So her best option is to give you something that will call, kind of tribal, inverted commas, Fomori from the hills to your aid.
We will thank her.
Yeah. So just a tiny little pot. And what she says is all you have to do is just wipe it on your tongue and above your eyes. And that will call them and allow you to communicate with them over distance.
Nice.
Sounds delightful.
Does she say anything about us having access to the tunnels?
I don't think so. I think that would have taken full success to induct you into the Brotherhood of the Fomori.
Oh, man. Oh, well, next time.
I think you were just a little short. There is no way retrospectively to help a roll, is there? No, there isn't. Okay. So that could probably not have gone better than it did. So
we cleared up some loose ends.
And you tied up some loose ends. Absolutely.
The space-time continuum is preserved.
It looks like it. Quite what's going to happen in 2 days' time when you two are going to be on Griffin back heading to those hills. And it would be fascinating to know what happened at the festivities in your absence. Have you changed the timeline, or will that roll on come what may? Have you created 2 copies of yourself?
We may find out when we return and we're set about by Fomori.
Yes. Is there anything you want to do, or do we cut to you on Griffin back?
I'm happy for... you take it away, Greg.
Yeah, let's Griffin it up.
Okay. Now, the Griffin could carry the 2 of you, because I always think Valura can't be very heavy. But of course, Velura can fly under her own steam if the worst comes to the worst.
Yeah.
So I think I imagine then cut to a close shot on Fungo with the hair and bristles on his face swept back as wind is whipping past him. And we scan one side and we see Velura in profile. And then we come away and there's Velura, is flying alongside the Griffin as it, noticeably much smaller Griffin than the Golden Griffin, and much more domesticatable. So I think it is worth risky. I'm going to try the outdoor adventuring move.
Yes.
With a slight change, but let's give it a go. So who's playing lookout? Is that Velura again?
Yeah, it might be Velura, since she's flying, she can kind of go ahead and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on then. Roll 2d6 plus expertise.
2d6 plus expertise. Let's see. Expertise is a 0. Oh, a 6.
So you are going to be late. Yeah. All of this was planned to get you to the caravan ahead of them arriving in the hills.
Boo.
You are going to be late. And so what I think we will then cut to is you being buffeted by some storm that just delays you. And we see Griffin and Velura silhouetted against one of the 3 moons. I've just noticing behind Paul, there are silhouettes of birds against a moon. Imagine one of those is a griffin and the other is a Lugat bat person. And then over your shoulders, we will see a hill fort of some kind. With a caravan of mules passing through its gates. Fungo, looks like there's a change of plan now.
I'm
What are you
thinking that, do we think that they've been delivered, or this is, they've got to their destination?
I think it's appropriate if, you see them being led through the gate.
Okay. So I don't have to. Well, do you want me to make the lookout avoid danger? Maybe they could be firing up at us. A bit of a dodging, tracer fire.
I'm very happy. Always a bit of a risk with the outdoor adventuring moves.
Well,
but,
why not?
Let's go
for it.
Get
a gloom event. Here we go. So this is with wits.
Yes.
Which I'm at -1 anyway, so maybe it wasn't a good move. But here we go. Let's see what we get.
Oh.
I rolled a 10, but that does bring it down to a 9.
What the move says, you are being followed. You have 1 hour until the threat is upon you. I think that you can see a significant body of troops advancing towards the hill fort, which might well make it unassailable. So you have an hour before they arrive.
I will sort of, we're coming in, dodging this fire, and I'll be sort of pointing, because clearly you can't speak when you're moving at high speed on Griffin back, to this sort of torch procession in the distance to point it out to Velura.
Yeah, and I think there are some. There's a small group who were in this fort to meet the caravan, but there are a significant. Who's that? Velura, what are you thinking?
All right. Make sure I understand this. So the caravan has already reached the fort. They're going in. They see us, and then there's another group outside of the fort that.
That are marching towards it, and they're about an hour away.
Okay, so this could
Must act
be.
quickly, Valera.
Yeah. How big is this fort? Like, how many people are shooting at us?
I think that there are probably a couple of dozen people here.
Okay. All right. Let me think. Well, if we could somehow, I don't know if we want to call the insect people in straight away, right? I think it was more that could complicate things. If the insect people are attacking Dunkirk's people, let's see. And so these other people marching in, do they seem to be part of this organization, or are they from somewhere else?
They're an hour. They're an hour's march away, so you
Yeah.
know they're coming,
Gotcha.
but they're too far away at this point to know whether they could be good guys, bad guys, complications, whatever.
I think it would be cool if we somehow could sneak in to the fort. I mean, they see us now, but is there some?
I think I could provide a distraction there, Valera.
Okay.
I'll create an illusion of more Griffin-backed warriors, sort of as if we're the advance party. So they should hopefully change fire and attack clearly nothing. That should give us an opportunity to get into the fort.
Okay, so a distraction of Griffin diving onto the fort while the pair of you land your Griffin and try to get in by other means. Yeah? Okay. So so mislead a target senses for 3 minutes, no change to temperature or scent, create an image and sound. Okay, fine.
So rolling at +1 because
weaving magic with charm or wits, I think, isn't it?
I've got 1 in both of them, so here we go. Rolled 6, luckily +1, 7.
Okay, so 7 success, but so you know there are swooping Griffin. Maybe you made them Golden Griffin. I don't know. There's a group of Griffin dive bombing this fort and now attracting fire. But decide one option that fits the story. Oh, a favor. Oh, sorry, backlash.
I can play right into what you said there. Yeah, Golden Griffins. Now, what we do know about Golden Griffins at this point is they're a bit like small dragons. They can breathe fire. So my illusion, a bit like the last time I created an illusion, it sort of bleeds into reality and can do things. So it ignites combustibles. So I think the top of this tower, this hill fort is maybe on fire.
The trouble is that's a yes and, isn't it, from your point of view?
Oh, well, it might not be a benefit to us that it's on fire.
Okay, yeah, fine. Oh yes, the barn where they have led the caravan loaded with arms and ammunition is now afire. Excellent. That's a good butt. Yeah. Okay. Okay, but you have landed outside, the ditch and palisade, the wooden stockade, and what do you do? Valura?
Yeah, so Valura, I guess we have moonlight. Actually what Valura is going to do, she's going to scout, summon some bats because, that's what she does. And just see if she can get some information about what's going on in there. How dangerous it is, or what else is going on.
And don't forget, you've got complete night vision. So it's like daylight there for you. So roll the 2d8 and see how many bats we get.
32. Oh yeah.
A small cluster of bats, providing you with sense pictures of what's going on. What I can tell you is on the other side of this stockade, you can see the humans who arrived, just, obviously panicking. and saying to people, you know, you need to put the fire out quickly or get the mules out. It could explode. So there's a high degree of chaos inside, particularly now that the griffins have departed. The illusion is gone. With that in mind, then, Fungo, what do you do?
I think, well, we could deja vu and attempt to help them like we did last time a fire beset the humans. What do you think, Valera?
Wait, we helped them last time with the fire? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
we did.
Fungo stepped into the firelight and organized a bucket chain to put out the burning tree.
Yes, I like this. Yeah. Let's do that. This is our way in, right?
Okay. Yeah. So we see Fungo, you know, slightly top heavy as he is, clambering over the timber palisade, ignored by everyone because they're all very busy trying to put the fire out. Velura, you can just kind of a couple of flaps and you're on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I now see you inside the hill fort with chaos going on in the gloom. So how does this play then, Fungo? Do you just join a bucket chain or what?
No, I think we'll try and sort of take a bit of command here and say, you know, let's form a bucket chain. Let's put this fire out. And we must save the hill fort.
And where are you hoping to locate yourself in this bucket chain? You know, are you at the well end or at the barn end?
I think at the well end.
The well end. Velura, what are you doing while Fungo tries to organize a bucket chain?
Are the guns already in the barn?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I feel like if the guns get burned, or you know what I mean, if they're damaged by the fire, we're fine with that. Fungo, should Velura try to make sure the fire destroys the guns?
We may fail our task with Lord Durrock.
But what was our task was just. But I mean, like our task was just really to make sure they got there, right?
Yeah, true.
We didn't really have much of a task for him.
Since
the threat was made up. Do you know what I mean? Like the threat was made up. So, okay. How about this? Velura is going to search to get more information about what's going on here.
Okay.
If there is, yeah. So she's going to try to use the chaos to get more info about what's going on.
I mean, this sounds like expertise or wits to me, unless you've got an argument for something else, to find some source of information and make sense of it.
Maybe the bats give me like a +1.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you a +1 for that.
So yeah, we'll do wits plus bats, maybe get a +2. So a 9.
Except that's 2d8s you rolled.
Oh no, I clicked no, the 7. I 2 + 5 +
Okay.
2. Gotcha. I rolled them both.
Okay.
But if we want to add all those together, 7 + 9, 16, 18.
So 9 altogether, I think, is what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that is success. You will find some communications that later on will tell you more, unless you want to use time now to do that. But it's a 7 to 9, so it's success, but. So physical, mental task, but what does this consumes? Resources, equipment, time, wounds? You tell me.
You know, I'd say let's attract attention. That someone, you know, notices a Lugot walking around where there hadn't been one before.
Yeah, I think that we probably see you in a hut, you know, just you know, sorting through pieces of parchment, trying to piece together what's going on. When someone comes into the hut and says, "What are you doing?"
I'll be like, "What am I doing? what in God's names are you doing here? You're trying to burn the guns. Lord Durek sent me because he had concerns that you guys, didn't know your something from a something, and obviously he was right.
Then I think that is wits, I have to say.
Yeah, that's not charm. So it's interesting. One feedback is the re-roll and the garbage can sometimes disappear for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just been happening this time. And actually, oh wait, okay, no, I'm an idiot. I mean, I'm not an idiot, but I think when the dice you have to select the dice to get the re-roll and the garbage can.
Yes.
It
Otherwise,
it might make a little more sense if that was always there.
Okay, fine. Right.
Yeah.
I'll pass that back to John.
Yeah. Anyway, ooh, 12. 12 was first teen. She makes him cry.
I think he probably says, "Yes, ma'am,"
Yeah.
salutes, and goes back to the bucket line. Let's see how the bucket line is going, Fungo.
Actually, one thing. Could I leverage this? I want to ask him who's in charge here.
Well, I am.
Oh, okay. We'll talk. I'll be talking to you later about this. I hate for this to, I don't want to worry Lord Durek needlessly.
Of course you don't. Okay. So let's go back to the bucket line. This sounds like you're kind of ordering them into action, Fungo. So it's social, charm, or wits. It sounds like wits. It sounds like a clever ploy rather than let's talk about.
I was just relying on Mike to pull bucket loads of water out of the well.
Yeah, well, I think you need to get their attention and get them formed up.
Let's roll and see what happens. Do you want to roll for a double?
Well, I just did for the double that Valura hit us with. Let's see if that's where are we? Caves or hills? 8. Oh yes, I think that would be quite fun. Fungo. That failed miserably. So there is no organization to this, but no one's particularly paying attention to you. They're still trying to put the fire out in the barn, but you can now hear people's voices coming from the barn. Maybe half a dozen or more people are now shouting, "Help, help!"
Oh, well, I think as a courageous man, I can't allow even semi-innocent people, even if they are sort of ritual, sort of cape and hood wearing people, cowl people. So I'm going to drop whatever bucket that I'd probably just got to the top of the well. So we hear it clattering all the way back down on the rope and charge headlong actually out the barn. I'm going to try and sort of smash through the side of the barn.
Okay, this sounds like much more Fungo's.
Yeah. Fungo
place.
starting a fire, getting out of fire, and smashing with his head. This is like vintage Fungo. This is
exactly. I mean, it is really. We are just replaying time.
You are.
Exactly,
you are.
yeah.
There are certain events that you are fated to relive over and over and over again, Fungo.
Yes.
Damn those gods.
So let's have you. This is a physical task with might, I would suggest.
I think so. Okay, here we go.
Down,
rolling.
ramming speed.
Oh, that's still not very good.
Has Fungo ever been successful with a
No.
ram? I don't. Fungo. Yeah.
So this is a failure. This is 4, 5, 6.
Well, mark
So
experience.
I've marked XP again. I probably will level up within a few minutes at this rate.
Fungo is the definition of banging your head against the wall.
So
Right.
should we say it's like a major structural beam, Alan, not just a sort of not just a panel I was hoping it was just going to be, a couple of mil thick panel fence sort of type wall. But I think this is a structural wall.
Yeah.
Now,
I think
I don't mind if it wants to come down or you just want to knock me over.
No,
or cause me damage. It's up to you.
I think that you were aiming for the kind of just planks, and instead you hit a solid upright.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just going to inflict 2 harm on you, 2 damage on you. No, 3, because it's a fairly substantial.
3's fine. It gives me 6, which I can heal.
Okay.
That's fine.
And you kind of just come away, and still there are screams now. Men, women, and children inside there.
I will shout, Valura, do something.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Valura's in a hut. So, Valura, you
Oh.
can hear these screams now
Yeah.
outside the hut.
Yeah. I come out and, maybe I say this later, but I'll say, Fungo, why were you trying to ram a solid stone support?
That doesn't matter. There's women and children in that burning barn.
Yeah.
Get in there. As I'm sort of like,
Valura
swaying my
comes
head
out.
around.
She flies out of the barn. She's flying, flapping. We'll say she can travel faster in the air. And so she's, right near the ground, just flying. We'll say she just shoots right into the barn.
So maybe through the burning roof, the thatched roof. Because if it goes well, you'll go through. If the roll doesn't go well, maybe you don't.
No, I'm very happy to have you just like an arrow.
I assume there's an open. I picture an open barn door.
Yeah. You go through the open barn door.
And she says, "See, Fungo, open doors work pretty well too."
And so you go in, and it will be one of those shots where we've got a kind of wall of flame into which Valura just disappears. I think this is probably reflexes, isn't it, Valura?
Yeah.
Or have you got something else in mind?
Reflexes, -1. Why wouldn't she run into a burning building with horrible reflexes? Let's see what we get. Oh, a 5.
Mark experience. Take
Yeah.
3 points of burn damage.
All right.
But because the walls and the roof are afire, the space in the middle, you will find a group of cowering, a variety of species, a lugat, a fomori, the badgers, I've forgotten the name, some Valura, the fox. But what's weird, Valura, not Valura, that's you, not Viveru, the fox people. The weird thing is that they're lying there down and with harness and kind of boxes of arms and ammunition on them. It gives the impression that the mules have been turned into people.
Wow. Okay.
People they turned into mules.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a further question.
She's like, what? And okay, she realized she's on fire and she knocks some stuff out. So yeah, her concern is getting these people out. Can they move? Like, does she have to move the boxes off them to get them movable, or can they, if she leads them, can they?
I think that's the problem, is because I think probably the only one who could move under their own power is the Fomori, because they're big.
Yeah.
And so the harness, that the mule harness that's wrapped around the Fomori and the boxes the Fomori is carrying, they could probably move, but they are of course tied together. So it's all or none. But they are trapped under the weight of the boxes and the harness that they are all connected in.
All right, and they're just cowering. It sounds like they're just kind of cowering. They don't know what to do. Yeah,
they're struggling, but it's apparent that they're not going to be able to get out of this on their own.
All right. Let's see. So, do I have to free them? from the chains, if I free them from the chains, are they more movable and they can get out?
I think if you can cut the harness, then that would allow them to get out from underneath these boxes.
All right, I'm gonna try that.
Okay, I think that's probably reflexes again, unless you've got something else in mind.
I think I'm just gonna char my axe into chopping the harness. So yeah, we can do reflexes. That sounds
Or
good.
is might better for you? Because it could be either.
They're the same, but we'll just use might because I think that's makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's see what we got. Ooh, 11 minus 1.
That's going really well. You know, burning thatch is beginning to kind of sift down onto the barn floor. You can see that it's not going to last very long. Fungo, Velura shot into that barn, and all you can hear is the screaming. What are you going to do, Fungo, as you kind of clear your head?
I'm going to shout sort of, what's going on, Velura, hoping that my excellent sense of hearing, whatever Velura returns with, I can hear, but the other sort of humans nearby won't.
Oh, you have got an excellent sense of hearing, haven't you? And almost certainly, it seems to me, Velura, you have a particularly high-pitched voice when you want to.
Yeah.
Because that would fit with a sonar, wouldn't it?
Yep.
So
I sort of need to know what's going on in there.
Okay.
If you could tell me, Velura.
Therefore, I think everything that we've just been describing is now clear to Fungo as well. So with that information, Fungo, is there anything you want to do?
And she also, at this time, she says, oh, and this has stone supports. The walls have stone supports.
Always stone. But I'm going to pull out the pheromone cream and wipe that on my tongue and above my eyes. I'm hoping the Fomori will come up from underground, so we could maybe use the tunnels that you wanted to use, Velura. We could use the tunnels to escape with these creatures who I'm starting to think maybe the humans polymorphed into mules and have been using them as slaves.
Yeah.
Because there's no humans. Are there any humans in there?
No.
No. So I think the humans are quite evil. And maybe this fits in with the guns. Humans want them to sort of take over the gloom as well as Earth, sort of thing.
So
well, I just hear tunnels, so I'm on board.
Yeah, let's get in those tunnels.
Okay, Fungo. The only challenge with this is that what I think T'Chik will have told you is that they will come to you.
Yes.
So the tunnels will erupt wherever you are.
I'm going to have to dive into the building then.
I think you are.
Yes.
I think you are. So reflexes, or are you charging through?
Well, I think after that's a stone support beam, I think I will re-angle. Basically, I just have to go off in a straight line. Yeah.
And there was only one stone support.
Can't change direction. So I will pick a new course, sort of pray to whatever god it is I pray to and say, please no stone support this time. And charge.
Let's give it a go. It's got to work sooner or later, doesn't it?
No.
Okay, this time I am going to have Fungo burst through, shattering a stone support, taking 3 points of harm.
Now that's me on 9.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, I didn't want to do that to you.
No, that's fine. Because I according to that, I still get 30 minutes.
Yes,
that can actually be interesting, right? That puts some tension into it.
I must admit, I can cast a healing spell and remove 6.
Well, let's have you burst through this.
And collapse, maybe.
And, bleeding from the forehead as stone, and the barn begins to kind of as the stone support crumbles away.
What have I done? What have I done?
But you have 30 minutes in which to and call the Fomori.
Yeah.
And I think the Fomori are everywhere. And so it is only a matter of minutes before they erupt out of the ground. Are you going to use those couple of minutes to do anything, Valura?
I'm thinking if the people, let's see, what did I do? No, I was able to cut them.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
free.
So I think I'm gathering them. Is there anything else in the barn?
Apart from the arms and ammunition and these 6 people, and a load of barn stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing valuable.
Right.
What about you, Fungo? Are you doing anything while you? Oh, go
actually,
on.
I do have an idea. She's in this. She's actually thinking she wants to spread the fire to the rest of the fort. Now that we have a way out of here,
Yeah.
is there? This is what she does. She takes the guns. What I'm thinking of is, can she cause an explosion with the gunpowder?
Well, I suppose what I'm curious about is your original idea was to render them harmless,
Yeah.
and then decide whether whoever was going to receive them were good guys or bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you destroy them, they're gone.
Yeah, I'm kind of with, let's take these guys out. Or I guess, this is the information I got.
Okay.
Did the information point me to I like these guys or don't like these guys?
There was a letter among those papers, which was addressed to the local representative of Forever Gold, because this appears to be a Forever Gold outpost.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, I will send a contingent of my men to collect the arms. Have them ready. Signed, Lord Corwin of the Sapphire Throne.
Interesting. So Forever Gold is supplying things to the Sapphire Throne. Okay, and then
I like your plan of explosion.
Yeah. Also, I guess the greedy side of her. Does she see anything other than the guns that she wants in this fort? I guess.
I mean, she's hardly searched the entire place.
Yeah, yeah.
So
we'll just explode. Yeah.
Okay. Just to remind you, back in session 1, the fairies after the griffins were they said something to Shelley like, "Have you been sent by Lord Corwin?"
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I do remember the name Corwin.
So
call a 5, Alan.
Oh, sorry. Yes, we can call a 5. Well, I tell you what. Let's just have a montage which sees the Fomori emerge from the ground, because we know what's going to happen now. There's no dice rolls here, I think. And you herding the people, Velura, into the tunnels, followed by Fungo, and then finally the roof comes in, and
so we could have a sort of like running down some tunnels as that dust cloud
Fireball.
sweeps by us. Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And that does bring us to just the point, back in our seats on the hour.
Sounds good.
See you then. Okay, so we're back from our final break, and we see, I think, Velura and Fungo herding this group of 6 mixed sentient humanoids down through the tunnels, the Fomori tunnels that cover a large amount of the local area. What's the conversation we see between Velura and Fungo as you're making this trip in the dark? Fungo, how does it start?
Oh, go.
I should congratulate Fleur on an awesome plan, but I will express my concerns that possibly the humans are using the other gloom creatures here, and these people have been abused.
We rescued them, right?
You did.
Yeah.
We gotcha. Okay.
Now,
Cool.
quick technical question, Alan. The spell memories. Examine the memories of a willing target. Now, is willing just friendly, or do I have to say to them, I'm going to read your mind, and then they tell me whether they want it or not?
I think it's a more interesting it's a more interesting magic power if you can just do it.
Yeah, so friendly targets.
Yeah, I think as long as they're not actively resisting you, would be the way I'm going to read that.
So yeah, therefore I can sort of probe the minds of some of these people that we've rescued. I'm relying on the fact that we've rescued them, so that they should be at least semi-thankful. So I can really kick it to you, Alan, for you to tell us how did they end up like this, and what happened. So do you want me to roll a cast?
I need you to roll to cast.
Okay, weave magic plus charm or expertise, which I've got at 1+. So here we go. Double 1. Get in there.
The tunnel collapses and we all die. All right. Great game.
Okay, so I've cycled through XP, and now I'm on to the next box load of XP. So I've got an advance. That won't help me beat double 1. Gloom event, Alan.
Yeah, I feel obliged to roll the dice, really.
I think you should be.
That's 8. Where's my gloom events table? Caves or hills? 8. Animals turn into people. Have they met you before?
They turn back into people then?
The people turn back into mules.
And now we've got mules down a tunnel. Oh.
But it's got to be a big tunnel because we know these
the Fomori are pretty big.
Okay. So whatever you did, it felt like you were reaching for a memory, and the memory triggered the transformation back into mules.
Nasty. Okay. Well, I think we should stop here, Valera, because I'm in pretty bad shape, and so are you to some degree. So I'd like to cast a healing spell.
Fine.
So let's roll to cast a spell again.
Yeah, it can't be worse than double 1.
Valera goes, wait, you're going to cast another spell?
In for a penny, in for a pound, my friend.
Okay. All right.
Double 3. So I do make it. That makes it a 7.
Okay.
So you can have a gloom event if you wish.
Well, success, but. So what's the but? So you've recovered 6 wounds. But which option do you want to go for?
Well, natural animals. I could turn that. We could have the mules go sort of they'll act differently towards me. 3 hours. So they may bolt off.
No. I think they act as people. So you have 6 vaguely intelligent mules.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's quite an interesting outcome for that sequence of spells. I'm not going to roll a gloom event.
Okay.
Well, I suppose
I will offer Valera. Do you want healing, or are you okay where you are?
Oh, she says I'm okay where I am.
I thought you might be. I thought you might be, my friend.
She's like, yeah, don't touch me.
It must be said though, I have just to see what it might throw up. I've rolled a gloom event, which is portal to town or city elsewhere in the gloom.
Let's go through that. That can move it to wherever you want it to, Alan.
Well, where do you want it to go to? Do you want to go back to Murias?
No, let's have us on Earth with 6 mules
Okay, 6 semi-intelligent mules
in Salisbury
in Salisbury.
at Christmas time.
Yes.
All right, I like it. Setting it up
okay.
for Sabine.
Okay. So, what is it like when you this is your idea, Fungo, so I'm going to go to you. What is it like when you transition from the gloom to the Earth reality?
I think it's that sort of spiraling, sort of, getting smaller and smaller and sort of compressed more and more. I think this tunnel's starting to sort of like melt as we start to sort of like bend and sort of swing sideways, as we're then sort of sucked and spun in a smaller and smaller object, and then the opposite at the other end where we're sort of spun and spun and spun and then kicked out. Or do you want me to describe where we land out in Salisbury?
No, we'll come back to the mirror. That is reminding me, I think as a kid in the 60s, I watched a program called The Time Tunnel that I will now have to look up. But I think that's the opening sequence from The Time Tunnel.
Okay.
So good on you. Velura, where do you appear? Is this in a busy part of Salisbury? No, what time of day? Let's start with that.
All right, we'll say that we appear. It's morning, so it's right before daybreak.
Okay. And let's ask Fungo the next question, which is, who do you see when you step out the other side, given that it's, just pre-dawn?
I think we see a gentleman dressed as Father Christmas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. On his way to a local department store to do his morning shift. Does he see you, Velura?
Sure. Velura, I guess she looks like a human.
Yeah.
And we'll say she's like a very stunning, elegant human. Given her charm is two kind of thing. She is, not just based on physical attraction, but just like she gives off a sense that people take to her,
Just charisma.
Yeah, exactly. Just exudes it. And so he sees her with interesting. Do these humans turn back to humans, or are they still mules?
They are still mules.
Okay. She's with a bunch of mules. And what does Fungo look like?
He's quite
fat
a big
bloke with a flat cap. There is a picture of Fungo there.
Okay. All right. And we'll say, how about we appear in the department store?
Oh yeah, great. You appear leading these mules with Fungo bringing up the rear out of Santa's grotto, the kind of tent come temporary home of Santa across the Christmas season. And Santa is just come onto that floor. The lift doors open, he steps out, and there's Velura leading 6 mules out of his grotto. And he kind of shakes his head and says, mules or donkeys?
And I guess Velura's learned as you just take control of the situation. And she's like, oh, great, you're here. Yep. We just brought him in. Don't you love him? This is going to be great.
I think that has to be charm, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's see what we get. And then she goes to Fungo and says, don't cast a spell.
Not even a little one?
Oh, wait, I didn't roll both. Okay, there we go. I'll just roll them again. 8 plus 2, 10.
Double 4.
And what do you just hand him? You know, you just say, you know,
We can't
then
hand
walk
over.
away.
We can't
No,
hand these
no,
people
no, no.
over.
Yeah. No, we're still doing, but that we're just basically the explanation of why we're here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that he should just go around his business. It's like I say that to him, and then I'm back to the mules. You know?
Okay. He just walks past you, kind of, you know, looking, and begins to set up. You know, he's getting these, you know, false presents out of storage and stacking them around his chair, and then a couple of elves will come.
And yeah,
Oh, you're
and maybe
on the
she says
second floor. You're on the second
Yeah.
floor of a department store, with 6 mules,
Semi-intelligent mules.
semi-intelligent mules, who are looking around confusedly. Velura, you seem to be in the driving seat here.
Yeah.
Did you want to do anything with those double 4s, Alan?
Oh, not
No.
another pair of double 4s. Good
Yeah, I'm
God.
afraid that was a double.
I've never rolled 14. Gloom event, city or town 14. Animals, cats or dogs, what are they doing?
Can you have bloom events in Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, why not? Why wouldn't you? Of course. What was I thinking? Yeah.
I think that cats and dogs from across Salisbury begin
Come
to
running to the
approach
department
the
store.
department store.
All right. Well, one thing is, when Berlora's ever in Earth, she likes their items, their products. So we'll say she finds a really nice handbag that she likes, and so she grabs that. And she looks at Fungo, and basically she says, "Now, what are we gonna do with a bunch of humans turned into mules? What was your plan?"
Oh, let's pretend it's Christmas and some sort of Christmas parade through the town.
All right, but we got to turn these people back, right? I mean,
Yeah, but that's outside my magical ability.
and we can't get any information out of them either.
Oh no, let's not try that again. I tried that. That didn't work.
They are semi-intelligent, so they, you can treat them as children, so they will do things as if they were children.
I think we could get them to follow us down an escalator, possibly.
Yeah,
we can get out of the building with them. Clearly, we don't really know about the incoming herd of cats and dogs yet, but this place may be swamped. It might have something to do with the pheromones, Alan, that I placed. All around my face.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
They may act differently on Earth.
What I will tell you is, as you're heading out of the kind of Christmas floor, which is all decked out in Christmas, you do notice that there are, a set of reindeer, just lined up.
I would like to persuade Santa to hand me over. I'm going to tell him that basically the department store is clearly double booked, and actually he's not the hiring. They've gone for somebody a lot classier. Myself, my female elf assistant, 6 and 6 mules. Sorry, but it wasn't 100% that we were going to turn up. So he's not really the true hiring. He's just to stand down for the day. And I will give him I'm going to give him a holy symbol to my god as payment.
A Druidic holy symbol.
Yeah, I haven't got any money on me, so that's the only thing I can think is worth anything.
And
it might
this
not
is
be worth anything.
No,
I'm going
this
to
is
try
probably
and charm him basically to hand over his uniform and call it a day.
Okay. I by hinting there were reindeer about, I thought you might want to take the antlers off the reindeer and provide deeper cover for your mules.
Oh, well, I thought they were real reindeer.
No, I see. No,
No,
they're
sorry.
not.
When you said take the, I was like, I'm not going to rip the antlers off a reindeer. No, I did think you meant real reindeer. We just
Okay.
stood up there as well.
Okay, so let's have you roll to charm him.
Yes. Here we go. Rolling. Now that is a good roll. That is 11.
Well, and he looks at this silver disc, and he thinks, well, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, clearly he's been stood up on the Santa stakes.
So he strips off his uniform, grabs the overcoat that he brought with him yesterday, puts that over the top, and he's off.
Pulls a second-rate hacks and does a runner.
So what I'm currently seeing then is Fungo climbing into the Santa suit.
Yep.
Yeah. Velura.
Is there a spare elf outfit?
Is it beneath your dignity to get into an elf outfit?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yes, it is. She looks at you and she's like, what sort of
It will help us.
For how long have you wanted to dress up like this?
Everyone likes dressing up as Santa. And what woman wouldn't like dressing up as an elf or Mrs. Santa? Come on, get with the Christmas spirit. It will help us blend in when Lord Durrock appears and looks to try and recover his firearms, his slaves. I don't know. We've got to get to the bottom of this. So trying to blend in round Christmas time in Salisbury, I think this is going to...
She takes an elf hat, sticks it on her head, and says, there you go.
Well, yeah, fair enough. That will do.
And
then she goes, please don't turn me into a mule. Please don't turn me into a mule.
And because Velura is a very attractive, charismatic human, just with the hat, she looks the most convincing Christmas elf you could ever see. And so what I now think we have, we cut to Christmas music on playing across the store. Slade are probably belting out, it's Christmas. And down the escalator, first comes Santa, and then a series of donkeys with reindeer antlers, and finally, looking slightly concerned, is Velura.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where are you going to go, Fungo? Because I think you're in the hot seat now.
I was just gonna wander around Salisbury for a bit, giving Christmas cheer. That was sort of, I really haven't thought this through.
Fungo's turned into a walking gloom event.
While I'm walking around, this is a good time for me and Velura to sort of come up with a plan, possibly. While we're wandering
you think
about.
Now's a good time for a plan? Certainly,
Yeah, well,
Fungo.
It's not my fault that gloom events just happened, Velura. I didn't expect to be in Salisbury. It just happened.
I think gloom
especially
events
with
are a
6.
condition. I think you have some sort of condition on you. I've
It's
never
magic.
experienced this many
What can I
gloom
say?
events in my entire life.
I know, Velura. How about we try and track down a ley line? Therefore, we might, what you said earlier, we might be able to summon some extra magical help to try and turn these people back into back into their proper form, which here would be people.
I like that because there's been an ability of mine I haven't been able to use my entire life, and now I can. So excellent.
How about that, Velura? That you would possibly be the only person that could find this extra source of magic we may need.
I like that.
Well, let's have you examine the soul of Bridget.
All right. I can use roll to intuition. Wait,
There is no
I-
intuition.
No, I think that must be um,
charm or
wit, expertise, charm. It has to be a magical one, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll use expertise.
Go
I
for
kind
it.
of think
You want
charm
it to
is more.
fail.
Yeah, well, I think of charm as more interpersonal, right? Like this is more, let's see, roly, an 11. She's
Excellent.
like, that's how you do it, Fungo. That's how you do it.
And in what we've got some special effect money that we've barely dipped into yet.
Yeah.
How do we see this power work, Velura?
I think what happens is I see well, I guess I'm picturing like, the English countryside of like gray hill, or not gray, but green, grassy green hills, overcast sky, big white rocks at places, and so I think she kind of gets very quiet and pensive, and and you guys just start following her. Do you know what I mean? She's like mumbling to herself. Maybe she's talking to people from time, talking to people in different time zone or times. She's talking to some caveman next to her. And so yeah, she leads. And so she leads to we'll say a hilltop, which actually has, now that we notice it, like embedded are the tops of some big stones, like in
Fine.
a circle. So some ancient.
A circle of standing stones.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
indeed quite close to Salisbury.
There
Maybe
indeed
not
there
1
is.
kilometre, but they are close.
Well,
Yeah, and I'll say like this is something nobody would notice, right? It's like, oh, maybe an archaeologist would dig into this and they would eventually find it, but yeah.
And well, so if these stones, they don't look like standing stones, they need to be excavated to be shown to be
Yes,
standing. So
exactly.
It's a hidden
Yeah.
circle.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, can I put them in the precincts of the cathedral then?
Precincts of the cathedral. What is that? What,
Just
inside the cathedral?
nearby, because Salisbury has a cathedral. And
Okay, yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say that they've got a conservation area near the cathedral. So it's woodland. And
certainly.
in that woodland, we see Velura, just kicking soil and just finding the tops of these stones.
And actually what I'm thinking too is maybe that there is some sort of small shrine or something, or you know what I mean? Like obviously the people that live here knew this was a holy place. Maybe they didn't know what was going on, but there's some little, like there's one park bench and like a little plastic shrine, something very small. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. With probably set up by somebody with a new age sense of the power of this place.
Okay.
So there'll be dream catchers and ribbons tied in the trees and stuff. Yeah, a place of power. Okay, well, you've got us here, Velura. What do you want to do with this place of power?
Let's see. I can talk to rocks. Okay, so
maybe somebody else could have been here, Velura. Maybe the rocks will tell us that. Maybe there's another faction at play.
Well, yeah, we could definitely do that. I was also thinking maybe the rocks could tell us how to turn these people back into
people.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm thinking of is talking to the rocks. There's rocks here, but these are like special rocks, right?
Powerful rocks.
Yeah. Ancient, Gandalf
empowered rocks. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you could ask that question if you want to weave magic to talk to rocks.
And we'll do a little charm on this one.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
10.
Wow. That's all I got to say is wow.
Right.
So you achieve your action. Three questions.
All right. First question is, how can we turn these humans, or no, they're not humans. how can we turn these people into these creatures into their original form?
Fine. And I think the answer is that you need a griffin egg.
Mm.
We
All
might
right.
be able to do that.
You have to sacrifice a griffin egg.
You have to make a griffin omelet. So, second one will be what was your question? Fungo, did you have
No,
I guess we could
no,
ask.
I
Okay.
didn't have a question.
The second question will be basically I'm thinking along the lines of the humans coming through this place, going to the thing. Yeah, we'll say who is bringing, who is transporting guns out of this. I'm trying to think of a more eloquent way to say that, but it's not.
No, that's fine. And I think that what the rocks tell you is to look around you and you will see. And when you look around you, you see that you are standing in a ring of oak trees.
Fairies.
No.
Oh.
There is a human faction called Oak.
There is. Oh yeah, it's they're the sort of British
Supernatural
CIA
service.
type, sort of MI6 type organization, aren't
they? Yeah. So they're involved in this.
Yes.
And then the final question would be, let's see, I asked when is the next shipment coming?
Tomorrow.
And did we get how to change these people back?
You do. You need to sacrifice a griffin egg.
I'll get it. Griffin egg. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
you need to find Kit and the griffin egg to get them back. Now I'll be honest with you. I am working.
We need to send. Oh, go on.
I'm working on the assumption, having given you that one, that one of our missing players is here next week with a griffin egg. I may retro that if we don't have that player in the egg.
Totally.
Yeah, I think you're going out on a limb on that one, but who knows? Who knows? Excellent. And I think Valora says it's okay, Fungo. You'll get better at Magic.
Oh, low
blow.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect end of episode, to be honest. Unless you can think of something you want to do right now.
No, I mean, I'm sort of spending XP, etc. So no, I think that sounds really good.
Is that okay with you, Greg?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's call it at that point. I'll keep the recording going so we can do stars and wishes. Let's start with stars. Can I offer a star to both of you for continuing to throw me the kind of variety of curved balls that it is a joy to be.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun today, I have to say, a lot of fun. So, Paul, any stars?
Yeah, I'd like to say a star to Greg for being the second best player here. Really good, Greg. Tops on, you beat everybody else. Great, mate.
Yes, excellent.
Again, dynamics between the two of us worked really well there, Greg. We're not just following a narrow path. We keep dragging it left and right, but it always keeps moving forwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sort of best role playing really for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks for that, Greg. And Alan, that flashback to the planning scene when we got to Mother to Chick, from a fellow GM, to then allow the players to plan, what was going to happen rather than just riding by the seat of their pants, to allow the players then to sort of stop time flashback, talk about what they were going to do. So when they enter the scene, they've got a coherent plan. To me, that was just brilliant. Never seen it done before. Phenomenal. I'll take that going forwards, 7 days a week, mate. Really good. So thank you.
Okay. Greg, any stars?
Yeah, no, I'd say I appreciate everything Paul has done in the former sessions, but just having the three of us, I really appreciated what he was doing. Do you know what I mean? I guess interacting with him even more. Yeah, it was a blast to play with you. I love everything that you're doing. It's awesome. Yeah, and Alan, awesome game. So no, I think what's interesting, I would say, from the design as far as the play test goes, like when the gloom events become a running joke. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the gloom event is the only descriptions I think that I would say would be nice for the gloom event is so basically I feel like the gloom events are you're in a different world. Things operate differently here. And so I think having some more structure around them would be good. What I'm thinking about is like in a story where there's magic, if you don't have rules around magic, it's not compelling, right? You need to have some sort of framework that can. And so I think the idea of the gloom event is awesome, but if it was reined in a little bit, I think gloom event is a GM move, sure. You know what I mean? That's great. But and what I'm thinking of is, does the gloom event change things that then the players can interact with? It's almost like a kind of a complication, or like with Fate when you have a new thing. And it seems like when we get gloom events, they're just always completely left field, which I think is great, but for the frequency that they have.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I've limited myself pretty much to using the tables provided to test them,
Right.
and I know what you mean. It's a bit like when we were talking last time about some of the moves can generate some fairly not random, but some choices for you to make as players that can take the plot and go over there.
Yeah.
And I think gloom events kind of give the same tool to the GM. And I don't know whether the rules do say, you could have a gloom event. There's no kind of rule that says you have to have one.
You have to, yeah.
I thought this time I've been ignoring the doubles up till now, and I thought, well, let's see what that's like in play. And either they're too common, or maybe there needs to be, fewer of them, but kind of grouped in a more vague way. Because there's some quite specific ones, in the tables. So yeah, I think I like the idea of them, but yeah, it did become kind of, there's another gloom event, and I don't necessarily think that's what Blake's pitching for. But we'll see what he makes of this feedback and anything we give him at the end of the sessions. So yeah, I mean, it is a wild ride. There's no question. Any wishes for next time, Paul?
It's the last one, isn't it? Next one.
It is.
Maybe the socialists get involved somehow. I don't know,
because they're the only ones that we've had no contact with so far, aren't
indeed.
they?
Yeah. I know Greg keeps hinting at my great socialist background.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe have some socialists somewhere along the lines.
Okay.
You need to do end of session stuff.
Oh, I do. Let me finish wishes, and then I'll come back and do end of sessions. Thanks for the reminder, Greg. Any specific wish for the finale?
Yeah, I think when it just comes to the socialist, I do like the idea of Valora. Maybe maybe Fungo kind of convinced her, like, hey, this is why socialism's good, and he knows how to talk to her. So I'm curious to see, does Valora go along socialism? Does it satisfy her greed, or does she, have some, is her understanding, is it warped? Yes or no? And then what are the results of that? So yeah, I do like how the socialism has been,
It's
and
running through it.
I love the factions. I really like the factions. I think that
Yep.
is that's a nice. It's 4 options, so you can do almost anything, but it also gives you few enough choices to wrap your head around. So
No, I
yeah,
go for that, and I like the idea that they're kind of they're philosophically different, rather than just the fairy kingdom and
yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah. So
Okay, let's do end of session. Thanks for the reminder, Paul. And somewhere I have put the rules for this. Hang on. End of session. Where did I hide them?
and what is it? 1 XP per Gloom event or something like that?
Phenomenal,
No.
Greg. Phenomenal.
We struggle to keep track. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Advancement. I knew it was called something like that. Okay, so apart from all those fails that you rolled, anytime you learn about the part of the world, the moons, astral space, creatures, magic items, the underworld, how a faction operates, or their influence, ding, you get experience points. So did you gain any lore?
Yes, we learnt about Lord Corwin's interaction with Lord Durrock, how Durrock, well, really how the Forever Gold is split between the sort of clean side of it and Lord Durrock and the sort of mafia side of it with Tachik.
Yeah, I think, each of you gets an XP for that.
I was just gonna say tunnels, but yeah, that works too.
Tunnels.
Yeah, that works
the fact
too.
that
Yeah.
you are never more than 10 feet from a Fomori tunnel. Yeah, okay. Exploration and surviving. At any time you travel to part of the world, moons, blah, 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 ding, you get experience points. Well, I mean, you've now traveled from the gloom to the Earth reality, so I think you get an XP for that. Working on a goal with the Fate Weave people, i.e. you lot, I think that I thought that the collaboration at the fort was great. I thought the collaboration in getting to Chick on side, the way you played Durrock like a cheap violin, all of that I think earns you XP. Yeah, so take one for that. And finally, style vice versa, vice virtue. Did we see you displaying your vice or virtue? What about you, Fungo, Paul?
I'd say willing to charge in and save the people, even if it didn't happen. But the thought was there, but probably
Yeah.
more actually scumming over Jamis and getting him to bring that sort of massive plate of food in for Fungo.
Yeah, I think that gets you an XP. What about you, Greg? What do you think Velura delivered?
Yeah, I think the courage. I can't think of greed that ever really made a huge impact, but yeah,
Oh,
flying
you did
into
ask
the
if there were other things in that building, so there was definitely greed there.
and I did take a purse.
You
So
did.
yeah, so yeah, okay, there we go. Awesome.
So take XP for those, and then you've got a choice. It's on. Hang on, let me just copy this because it would be handy if this was in the character keeper, wouldn't it? In the other moves, I've just put the advancements in column N, row 1920, I think. Yeah, see it? So that's what you can do with your advancements, because I think you've stocked up quite a few today.
Okay, can you just explain? I mean, I've already flicked through once, so I picked Ward as the spell, but I noticed under advancement there's ritual move.
Yeah, can you see just above that in the other moves?
Yeah,
Ritual move can be taken as an advancement after character creation. So you can in effect, you can choose to be able to do one of those rituals, choose one of these effects. Quite potent, some of those. Does that make sense?
Yep. probably next time I may select one. I only need one more XP, so.
I mean, technically, it says learning the ritual requires study with the druids. I don't think that we're playing a long enough campaign to make, the journey to the druids to learn in order to do X, Y, and Z.
Unravel magic may be quite good to save the people that are stuck in thingy form.
Well, at the minute,
Yeah, I mean, I only need one more XP, so I probably will go for that next.
Okay. Anything else before I stop the recording? Okay, I will stop the